read till I feel like I need to stop. But it's Nehemiah chapter 6. So I was laying here, and I said, well, I can just jump on live and read. Okay. It's it's where it says attempts to discourage the builders. And this is chapter 6 of Nehemiah. So it says when Sanballat, Tobiah, I think there's Gisham, the Arab, and the rest of our enemies heard that I had rebuilt the wall and that no gap was left in it, though at that time I had not installed the doors in the city gates. Sanballat and Gisham sent me a message. Come, let's meet together in the village of the Ona Valley. I guess that's what it is, and I'm trying to read these words right. Okay, it says they were planning to harm me. Verse 3, so I sent messengers to them saying, I am doing important work and cannot come down. Why should the work cease while I leave it and go down to you? Yeah, they basically he's saying, why should I stop working, doing the work and come down to you? And I understand that you meaning me harm. I see and I know, what you thank you for joining the line. I see and I know what you planning to do. I'm not going to stop the work. I'm going to keep on working. That's what Nehemiah is saying. So let me read where I stopped off at. Trying to see, I'm doing important work and cannot come down. Why should the work cease while I leave it and go down to you? Four times, they sent me the same proposal. They really was trying to get at him, to get him off track, to come down to, to where they were. And a thought come to me concerning, even distractions or whatever. It'll come when God got you on the path to, on a path that is on a whole nother level. The enemy is going to come. He gonna come to try to get you offset, to cause you to not to keep going in the direction that God wants you to go on. Um, then, let me read. It said, 4 times they sent me the same proposal, and I gave them the same reply. He stood fast on what he, um, what his plans to just keep doing what he was doing. Sometimes, a person, can be provoked to get off track if a person keep nagging it, you keep coming. But when you know that you are on the right path and that God got you going direction, um, in a direction He wants you to go in, you be confident to stay on that track, on the right track, instead of allowing the enemy to cause you to detour off the path that God desires for you to walk on, or the way that He's leading you. Okay. It says, Sanballat sent me this same message a 5th time. He was persistent. He was persistent. But Nehemiah, he also was persistent to stay on this right path and not allow him to take him off the right, the path that he was going on. It said by his hold on, it says Sanballat, I'm thinking that's what the name is, sent me this same message a 5th time by his aide. Hold on. Aide who had an open letter in his hand. In it was written, "It is reported among the nations, and Gershon agrees that you and the Jews plan to rebel or rebel." That's funny. I think it's rebel. Oh, Lord. This is the reason you are building the wall. According to these reports, you are to become their king and have even, set up the prophets. Let me read that again. According to these reports, you are to become their king and have even set up the prophets in Jerusalem to proclaim on your behalf. There is a king in Judah. These rumors will be heard by the king. So come, let's confer together. Then I replied to him, there is nothing to these rumors you are spreading. You are inventing them in your own mind. For they were all trying to intimidate us, saying they will drop their hands from the work. They were they will drop their hands from work, and it will never be finished. But now my God strengthen my hands. When you trust God and stick to God's plan, no matter what come, to your mind, or just what come up, you still just say, Lord, I still trust you. It's you know, that's what you have to do. Just say to God, I still trust you. I still trust you. Regardless of what, I trust you. And just keep on, you know, keep going, keep moving. At some point, things show up, and the enemy bring something to you to cause you, to kind of, not to say that um, uh, doubting or whatever, but he'll bring some stuff but you have to keep your eyes on what God is saying to you instead of what the enemy is saying. Thanks for joining the live. Oh, Lord. Okay. It said attempts to intimidate Nehemiah. It says, I went to the house of Shemaiah, 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 son of Delilah, son of Mechabel, who was restricted to his house. He couldn't leave his house. He said, let's meet at the house of God inside the temple. Let's shut the temple doors because they're coming to kill you. They're coming to kill you tonight. But I said, should a man like me run away? How can someone like me enter the temple and live? Let me read that again. It said, but I said, should a man like me run away? How can someone like me enter the temple and live? I will not go. I realized that God had not sent him. I realized that God had not sent him because of the prophecy he spoke against me. Tobiah and Sanballat had hired him. The guys that was tempting them to come out, to stop the work. He sent somebody, to come and try to get him to stop working. Okay, he was hired so that I would be intimidated. Do as he suggested. It says sin and get a bad reputation in order that they could discredit me, trying to get him offset and to do something that was out of line so they can say, basically he wasn't who he said he was, gonna discredit him. It said, my God remembered Tobiah and Sanballat for what they had, for what they have done, and also the prophetess. These words in the Old Testament, well, not the words, the names, is Noah, Dia, not no Dia, and the other prophets who wanted to intimidate me. He said that God remembered them. Yeah, my God remembered them. Okay, it's this portion right here is the wall completed. Nehemiah kept going until he finished doing what it was that he supposed to been did. He didn't allow nothing and nobody to take him off the course that he was supposed to be on. And I'm gonna tell you, I thank God for this word right here, because it's a motivation to me to keep going, keep doing what I'm doing, and not stop, just keep going. But this is verse 15. It says the wall was completed in 52 days on the 25th day of the month. It's Elul, it's ELUL. It said, when all our enemies heard this, all the surrounding nations were intimidated and lost their confidence, for they realized that this task had been accomplished by our God. Yes, Lord. It says, during those days, the nobles of Judah sent many letters to Tobiah, and Tobiah's letters came to them. Let me read that again, because I ain't like the way that sounded. I ain't read it right. It says, during those days, the nobles of Judah sent many letters to Tobiah, and Tobiah's letters came to them. For many in Judah were bound by oath to him, since he was a son-in-law of Shechaniah, son of Ara, and his son Jehohanan, Jehohanan had married the daughter of Meshullam, son of Barachaniah. Y'all, I'm sorry. Sorry, whew. These nobles kept mentioning Tobias' good deeds to me, and they reported my works to him. And Tobiah sent uh, letters to intimidate me. Yeah, that's I I I enjoyed that reading. Yep. I you know what stood out to me in this last portion is where it says that Tobias uh, sent letters to intimidate Nehemiah. Um, we don't have to. Well, the people. It's just gonna be some regardless of what. It's gonna be somebody gonna work for God and somebody gonna work for the enemy. But uh, the thing is, the people that say that we are living for Jesus Christ, we don't have to be uh, we don't have to be like doing stuff to um, be intimidated by one another, because we sisters and brothers in Christ. So we supposed to be there for one another. So it shouldn't be no room for being intimidated, or just say um, competing and stuff like that. We supposed to be working together. And if we do things in a way uh, like God tells the individual to do, because every last one of us got something that we can do for the Lord. He gave, he gave everybody gifts. Everybody have a gift. And that reminds me of those talents that was given. Um, everybody have something, and God knows exactly uh, what to do as far as giving the gifts. And it all supposed to work together to uplift the name of Jesus. Yeah, but I enjoyed that reading, cause it just it didn't motivate nobody else. It motivated me. It helped me, cause I'm just gonna be transparent a little bit, dealing with like I said, it motivated me to keep going, and you know, and I need God to help me. Um, when I don't feel like doing it, to just push myself to go on and do it, regardless, because like um, if I was working, I have to look at it like that, because if I was working, now when I was working out there, I love to drive so much I didn't get tired um, for driving. So I love doing, you know, reading the word and sharing. So I should, you know, I should push through it. But see, this what it is. Whenever you doing something for the Lord, it's gonna be, you know, the enemy is gonna come to try to stop you from doing it. So I just gotta keep pushing past, you know. But yeah, that was Nehemiah chapter 6. And um, let me see. I'm gonna read the messages. See what it say. Okay. All right. Let me put these glasses on so I can see. And I want to thank y'all for joining the live. Let's say Crate. Crayley. Thank you for joining. Are you from India? Thank you for joining from all the way from India. Yeah. Okay, it said, and I need support from one country. I yeah. God gonna make a way concerning, you know, help and everything. So can you, yeah, God gonna make a way. The way already made. Can you? All right. Well, I'm a get off of here. I'm get off of here, which I probably still ain't gonna go to sleep, but I'm gonna go and get off of here. And I will talk to y'all at a later time. I was trying to see what that was. Okay. See y'all later.